Hello, everyone. Looks like we're just getting here and just in the nick of time. So we're CoNDUIT. Jeez, I can't remember the number offhand. 19. Did you say?
Yep.
Wow, 19, really?
Mm-hmm.
We've been going for that long? Ooh, man, I feel old. I feel old remembering that I was, the winner of CoNDUIT 1. But CoNDUIT 19 started. We're doing the weekly match format like we have for the past few weeks. Looks like it's going to maybe be the standard Condor tournament at this point. Tournament format, that is. Where racers just schedule their weekly matches on their own time against their opponents, and then we have playoffs at the end of the week. Which, as usual, those will be on Eli Difficult's channel, so make sure you're following him if you aren't already, because if you like Condor and Crypt the Necrodancer races, definitely the person to follow. Oh, Sillypears! I think getting spooked by the Minotaur suddenly popping up out of there, just kind of sitting in there and letting it happen. But at the same time, Arboretic going down in his boss trapdoor, I think is what I saw there. So already we've got a race reset here. Anyway, yeah, joining me in the booth today is Goof.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me here. Very much appreciate the backup.
Welcome.
So yeah, for those who aren't in the know, CoNDUIT is the lower division of Condor. I'm trying to remember what exactly it stands for.
I think it's Crypt the Necrodancer Universal Invite Tournament.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Goof. So yeah, basically it's a tournament that pretty much anyone can enter. The only requirement is that you're able to beat the game semi-consistently. Like you have to clear 3 races on Necrobot prior to the tournament starting. Which, yeah, by the way, if you're interested at all in maybe trying out racing Crypt the Necrodancer, definitely worth joining the Necrobot server. I'll type the chat command in the chat there, so you can get a link to it. All skill levels are welcome. Even if you're struggling to beat the game consistently, there's definitely something you can learn from joining in some races, I would say. But yeah, the prerequisite for this tournament is pretty simple. Just complete 3 races. Doesn't have to be fast. Yeah, beyond that, it's just a matter of seeding and such. And so yeah, right here, what we've had going for the last 3 minutes or so is a match between Sillypears and Arboretic. Both not brand new names to CoNDUIT or Condor in general. In fact, Arboretic is probably one of the more established names in Condor events, I would say. He's been around for quite some time. And Sillypears, I believe, has been around the community for a long time, but only just recently has really started getting into racing, if I'm remembering correctly. I think Season 5 was his first tournament, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, this is, yeah, a bit of a race. I think, as far as the tiering goes, I think in Season 5, Sillypears, I know started in Blood. Did they move up to Titanium at some point?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, and I think Sillypears trying to wait out a beat there to let that golem move forward, but just not waiting long enough. So, gonna be back to Zone 1. And Arboretic, I think, was Titanium for the entirety of Season 5?
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure, at least.
Yeah, I may have promoted to Obsidian late in the season. I'm not remembering off the top of my head. Something I could check really quick, I suppose, but yeah, so if you're just going off of what we, the tiering is back in Season 5, but not just that, kind of the, who's been around for longer, who's got more racing experience. Arboretic definitely would seem to have the edge here, but, this is CoNDUIT, pretty much anything can happen. Okay, I'm pulling up the Season 5 standings here. Arboretic Yes, did finish in Titanium tier. And Sillypears finished in Blood tier. With a total of 14 points in Blood tier, which is pretty high for Blood tier. And Arboretic finished with a total of 18 points in Titanium, which is the top end of Titanium. So, I mean, yeah, the numbers definitely point to Arboretic's advantage here. But, you know, we've seen some pretty crazy things happen before, so nothing's set in stone.
The Arboretic found a Squega suit in his own 2-boss chest, and then got Boots of Strength from the Conjurer.
Yeah, Arboretic
looking much safer.
Looking super good with that build. So much armor, that Ring of Regen is going to patch up. Like, as long as he's only taking 1 or 2 hits every floor, health is not going to be much of a concern for him. And that Boots of Strength is going to give that Titanium staff the 3 damage threshold, which we always talk about being a critical threshold in Necrodancer. Not just speedrunning, but just playing in general. Lots of small fry enemies, you know, have multiple variants, which tend to cap out at 3 HP. So with that 3 damage, you're going to be one-shotting most of the weaker enemies. Not only that, though, but 3 damage is also what you need to break open crates and barrels, which will have lots of useful items. Typically, you're talking like additional food, sometimes head items, which almost all the head items are pretty strong. Yeah, so much you can do with 3 damage. The only thing he needs to be careful about is that staff is a pretty tricky weapon to use in the late game, particularly in Zone 4. Super strong. That line splash attack is going to clear out large swarms of enemies and make approaches into otherwise really densely populated boss rooms really easy, because right there, just seeing it clear out all the hellhounds behind that dragon, very strong weapon. But in Zone 4, it has the tendency to teleport you to warlocks that you can't really see off screen. You know, they're kind of off screen or in the dark, and getting you into really tight situations where you have to react really quickly, or sometimes situations where you just die instantly on the teleport. So, bit of a risky weapon to be running into Zone 4. We might see him check his black chest here after this Flawless Fortissimo, try and get a weapon that's a little safer, especially since he's got a huge lead over Sillypears. And we're going to see that. He gets a Titanium Axe, which is, honestly, probably the best thing he could have asked for.
Yeah, it's definitely much better than the staff for this, at least for this zone.
Yeah, Axe, I think, has kind of, like, Season 5 has shown us that it's probably the strongest weapon type in the game. You know, I might have a little bit of Axe-related salt, residual salt left over from getting outpaced by Inknun in Match 5 of our set. Because he had a 2 damage axe and he had a 1 damage axe even. And I had a 2 damage broadsword and he went faster than me. But, you know, no, for real though, Axe is super, super strong. And with those Boots of Strength, you probably want Titanium for that steady 3 damage. Obsidian is just going to give you the damage range of 2 to 4, which having 4 damage doesn't really do you much. But sometimes having 2 damage can cause you problems. So Titanium, when you've got a +1 damage, definitely the way to go.
Also, Sillypears, he has more health now, but he also got that Squega suit and got the base axe from, I think it was the 4 or 3-2 shop. I don't remember. I don't know where he got all that health. Maybe he found a food shop.
Yeah, right there. You know, benefits of 3 damage. Arboretic able to open up the gargoyles here, get a Nazar Charm, which you know, those late game rates can be a little pesky, but you know, Nazar Charm, that's not really a thing you need to worry about. Ooh, taking a nasty Golem hit there. That's -1 heart.
Yeah, he got it back on the next floor though.
Yeah, that regen is gonna patch that right up, and yep, it's Death Metal 3. So he's out of Zone 4, which Zone 4 is definitely the zone most prone for those fast dunks. You know, those ooze situations always threatening very fast kills, but checking red chest here, I'm gonna take the Miner's Cap. Not sure if that was intentional. May have just been a, you know, take the item and step on it, and, you know, you just don't react to it in time because it's deathmetal tempo. Miner's Cap's good for speed in most cases, but in Zone 5, it can often lead to you just opening so many extra rooms like this. Right here, having to deal with this extra Evil Eye, this extra Water Orb, this extra Mage, just because he had Miner's Cap and he stepped towards the door. So, yeah, I don't think I can't imagine the Miner's Cap was really like a, you know, a thought-out pick. Probably just, you know, instinctively stepping onto the item that popped out of the chest, for better or for worse. Making good use of the conduit, though, and is going to be finishing up his Zone 5 in a pretty timely fashion and onto Deadringer. And, I mean, Sillypears doing his best to keep up, but it's only got that 1 damage axe. No boots of strength, no titanium axe, just the base axe. I mean, axe is good, but a 3 damage axe is definitely better than a 1 damage axe. Clean Deadringer lures on Arboretic side, and onto the Necrodancer fight. Has 10 bombs to his name, more than enough to clear out the stage here. Gonna let him skip those obnoxious button puzzles. Immediate red dragon spawn, and Cadence eating a fireball. That's rough. Fireball gonna be doing a heart of damage there after the armor. So Cadence not in the best of states. Actually, needs to be really careful with this Necrodancer fight because a Necrodancer bomb will kill Cadence here. Pretty bad positions for setting up lures here. Looks like he's just gonna wait for the next teleport and hopefully get a better position. Yeah, that's much better. Sillypears pushing pretty hard, really using his large health pool as much as he can, but it's not working so well. He's down to half a heart. He's gonna have to play this pretty safe. Quake Scroll out of Sillypears, and that's gonna aggro a whole lot of enemies, and it's gonna take him down. Just as Arboretic finishes up the Necrodancer, it's going to finish this race at 12.5 minutes real time, 11-minute in-game time. So that's game 1 going to Arboretic.
G.
Okay, and here we go. These racers wasting no time, launching right into game 2. Okay, looks like, okay, both races gonna find those 3 bombs, which an immediate 3 bomb pack is always super good, because you know you're probably safe to just, you know, use bombs to your fullest against any bosses. Looks like Sillypears kind of wanting to try and get into that that cave in the top left and see if there's something hidden in there, but moving on. Shrine of Darkness there.
You can definitely take that. Yes. Hey.
Yeah, Shrine of Darkness, kind of regarded as probably the most overpowered shrine in the game, at least for speedrunning. Oh, but Arboretic checking that locked shop. Looks like Sillypears is actually going to go back and check it as well. Arboretic's grabbing the Boots of Leaping here.
Yeah,
Pretty dangerous pickup, but potentially very strong. And yeah, we're going to see Sillypears skip out on the Leaping, but take the Heart Transplant and the Cursed Heart Container. Bloodshot here gonna get the battle shovel and a set of throwing stars, passing on that gold crossbow. And races are pretty even, but Arboretic does have his heart container uncursed and has those boots of leaping, which could potentially be useful. Leaping gonna disable his throws because the up-down combination gets rebound to the boot toggle. But he does have those throwing stars, which can be used as a substitute for many throw strats. Trying to use the battle shovel there, not quite successful. And Sillypears is going to be slightly in the lead here, going on to deep blues. But taking a hit, so it's not going to be getting any items out of this fight. And yeah, Arboretic with those throwing stars, a really easy fight. Just walk in, throw 2 stars, you're done. Probably going to see him look for a new weapon here. It's not a weapon! It's not a weapon at all!
Oh, there's the ring, too.
But
that ring?
That said, he's in much better shape than Sillypears, who has no health, and down he goes. Just as I'm saying that. Ring of Luck, yeah. Ring of Luck for Arboretic. So, he's going to get his vision back. Not exactly the ring you want to be swapping off with. Ring of Luck probably generally considered one of the weakest options, although it is going to let him safely just stand in front of that Dire Bat and attack it. Ring of Luck going to Ring of Luck's effect in Amplified DLC here. A little different from how it was before the DLC, if you haven't been keeping up. Ring of Luck now, instead of changing the tiering of items that you find in chests and shops, now only affects crates. It's going to mean that crates that give food will, like if it would give an apple, cheese, drumstick, will now instead give a ham. Crates that would give money will always give 50 coins, and crates that would give a bomb or 3 bombs will always give 3 bombs. And what else am I forgetting? Oh yeah, crates can't contain enemies. So pretty useful traits there, but still not quite as not quite as useful as most ring effects. As far as most ring effects go, it's a pretty weak effect overall. You're probably wanting like Ring of Peace or Ring of Courage, Ring of Regen. One of those will generally work better. Interesting to see Arboretic taking the empty backpack over the holster axe. Although I guess it makes sense considering he's got the leaping. Holster, one of the most common things you want for that is for throw strats. Carry a throwable weapon so you can throw at a boss and then swap to your holster weapon to finish the fight out. But as I already mentioned, with those boots of leaping, he's not going to be able to throw. So it's understandable to leave that behind. Finding this food shop here, weakest possible food shop. Nothing but an apple and an empty heart container. Gonna proc his Gluttony Charm on it nonetheless, though. Get that 1 extra heart container. Just looking to tank up as much as possible. He knows he's got a big lead over Sillypears right now. So just wants to make sure that he finishes this run alive. Yeah, Shrine of Darkness putting in a lot of work here as far as aggro levels are concerned. Not too much either player has to worry about beyond what's immediately nervous in me. Both roosters, I think, kind of making the mistake, though, of taking Torch of Walls out of that shop. Torch of Walls' main value lies in the fact that it's going to, show you all the walls and kind of give you a partial mapping, but Shrine of Darkness means they've already got the full map. So that just means it's kind of negating part of the Shrine of Darkness's aggro minimizing effects. So I think, honestly, I would go without taking the Torch of Walls in that case, but yeah, both of them taking it. Sillypears doing a little more shopping, getting a Ring of Regen, which I think is definitely better than the Ring of Luck Arboretic's running, especially since he's on half a heart right now, and that's going to start patching him up. That said, immediately walking into a Minotaur charge. So, back down to half a heart. Seen a lot of panic on Sillypears' side. Lots of unintentionally missed beats here. Okay, yeah, he's Sillypears actually making good use of the pawnbroker there to sell off that torch of walls that isn't really accomplishing anything other than drawing extra aggro. Doing shopping though, which I don't think I agree with. The exit's right there. If you're looking for food, you know, you don't really need it. You're gonna get the Ring of Regen proc and get your health back. Wanting to buy the Blood Axe, but 20 coins short, so it's just going to move on. Arboretic is super far ahead at this point. It's 4-2 versus 2-4. So a zone and a half difference here. And Arboretic's got the much safer build here. Those boots leaping are pretty dangerous, but not if you just keep them toggled off, which is what Arboretic's doing here. Probably just going to turn them on once he reaches the Necrodancer fight, if I had to guess.
Probably. I don't see other reasons why. I mean, unless it was really close, which it's not. So I guess he doesn't have to use them.
Yeah. Probably just going to play it safe and keep those leaving boots disabled. 3 familiars for Arboretic's side, making good use of the Dove Charm on the approach to that exit room.
Yeah, I guess he could use his leaping boots more now because he just found the potion.
Yeah, yeah, with that potion there, he can really easily, like, he can push as hard as he wants. He's got plate armor plus protection charm, so 2 hearts of damage reduction. Not a whole lot he has to worry about. Does have to worry a little bit about Ooze there. Kind of hopping onto the Ooze for a little bit there, and narrowly avoiding getting hit by a mummy while standing on it, which would have been pretty bad. But kind of fortissimo here. Leaf just lost his Flawless, but I don't think there's too much he wants. Maybe a better ring, but regardless, he's not going to be getting it because yeah, no Flawless, and we need to do the fight without taking any damage or missing any beats in order to get that flawless victory. But Axe, Titanium Axe he found back in 4-2 shop, I believe it was. Very strong in Zone 5. That moving 3-tile attack can typically just kind of walk down the center of hallways and clear out the entire thing. So it's 5-2 for Arboretic and 3-4 for Sillypears. Lead remaining pretty consistently at the zone and a half mark. As Sillypears looks to clean up Death Metal. Much safer position for Sillypears now. Well out of that nearly dead range he was looking at before with the half heart regen. But at this point, I think you know, pushing up to Arboretic is kind of a lost cause, considering that it's Dead Ringer versus 4-1. Sillypears is probably just hoping for a really off-the-rails Dead Ringer or a Dorian dunk on Necrodancer. Off-the-rails Dead Ringer is not happening because Arboretic executes that perfectly and is on the Necrodancer. But while Cadence is really safe here, Dorian still has the same amount of health he always does, so does need to be careful of that. And yeah, sure enough, we're seeing the Leaping Boots coming on here. Idea, I think, here being just to end the fight before Dorian has the chance to take too much damage. Getting a little bit of a scrape with that Ogre, though, but thankfully it's only Cadence who's taking the front there. And yeah, Leaping, making short work of the Necrodancer, and that's game 2 to Arboretic. This is not a best of 3, this is a set of 3. Every single point counts towards progress towards making it into the playoffs at the end of the week. So yes, Arboretic has, you know, won the set overall. He's already taken the majority of the points, but Sillypears could still sneak away with a point here to help him get into the playoffs, or Arboretic could take the full 3-0 sweep to, I think, almost guarantee himself a spot in. We'll see what happens in this last race.
Big fun.
Alright, and here we go. Last race of this set. Sillypears, yeah, definitely looking to be kind of the underdog here. Not really being able to push quite as hard as Arboretic, but sometimes all it takes is one death or one lucky chest check or one unfortunate misplay in a boss and missing a critical boss chest. There are so many ways the game can just completely turn on its head when it comes to racing. So we'll see how this plays out. Alright, some pretty fast trap doors on 1-2. Both racers now fighting their mini-boss arena here. It's Direbat. Sillypears is actually going to get the lead here, taking another immediate trapdoor onto Conga. Getting tripped up in the arena fight here, though. Going to be taking some damage. Killing the red bat just to be safe. Oh, but I think, again, something that's kind of proving to be a bit of a difficult spot for Sillypears. I think he was, I saw that right, he was looking to burn a beat, but just didn't wait long enough and walked right into a Minotaur charge. So that's going to be Arboretic taking the lead here. Pretty standard Conga fight, just going to save the bombs and kill the Conga lines here. And Neiman, thank you for the 17 viewer host. Glad to have all of you here. Arboretic cleaning up the boss and getting an obsidian whip. Ooh. Not exactly what you're looking for out of a boss chest. Whips are great for slow, safe play if you know what you're doing. They have a really long reach. They can hit things from around corners, quite a ways away. But when you're speedrunning and racing, it's not quite what you want because it just tends to get snagged on everything and block your movement. Speaking on things that tend to snag a lot, there's a titanium warhammer in that shop. That said, warhammer's a lot better than the whip in race settings because while it does snag a lot, the fact that it damages all 6 tiles of its range simultaneously does mean that you're not going to get stuck for long. So warhammer considered a pretty strong weapon, although there's a titanium cat, which is a very strong speed weapon, but does take a little bit more care, a little bit more finesse to use.
What?
So I guess, yeah, just gonna go for the huge attack range of the warhammer. No, okay, gonna swap for the cat here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I mean, I guess it's okay with that Ring of Pain, but
And the Ring of Pain is a bit of a weird one. I've actually kind of found that Ring of Pain is similar to the staff in that it gets a little tricky to use, if not outright dangerous, when you hit Zone 4. Pain loves to proc Warlock teleports when you don't expect it and put you in some really sticky situations. But yeah, with careful use it can work out fine. Got Giant Cadence here, just popping the Giganticism Scroll here to take the Curse Potion with. Curse Potion, generally regarded as a pretty weak health restoration item. Gonna just refill you to full HP, but convert all of your health to Cursed Hearts. When you're at the starting maximum health capacity of just 3 hearts, not many things you would, you would replace with a Curse Potion as far as health restoration goes. Like, you'd probably take cheese over a Curse Potion. That's a Ring of Peace there is going to give an extra empty heart container, which is going to increase the value of that Curse Potion a little bit. It just occurred to me, if you curse your heart containers and with Ring of Peace active and get down to 1 heart container, you just die if you swap off Ring of Peace, don't you?
Never thought of that. That's actually
I think
weird.
that's a situation I don't think has ever come up before in races. But I would imagine that's how that works, which would be a pretty awful way to go. Oh, that's interesting. So, Arboretic there swapped off Peace and didn't lose one of his cursed heart containers from using that curse potion, and in fact, uncursed one of his heart containers by touching Ring of Peace again. I've never actually seen that interaction. It makes sense that it works that way, though, but interesting to see. So yeah, 1 free, wait, no, that heart uncurse came from the regen, so the heart container didn't stay uncursed. It just added an empty uncursed heart container, which he didn't keep because he left it. Right. Don't mind me, commentator, just like not understanding how the game works. That is still interesting though, and kind of a way to like milk an extra heart container out of Ring of Peace that I never really thought about before. I'm just determined to make Curse Potion a not bad item, and this is new advanced Curse Potion strats. Because I know Curse Potion generally pretty not viewed particularly favorably among most of the racing community. So Arboretic in a little bit of a sticky spot here with regards to his health, although did find a potion last floor, so not too bad. Might look like he's on the verge of dying, but he's actually just on the verge of losing his potion, which is, considerably less problematic. But still something he'd like to avoid doing if possible, because if that potion procs, that does mean that he is not going to be getting much mileage off of that Ring of Regen when he finishes the floor. Is going to finish the floor without any more issues though, so regen kicking in there, giving him an extra heart back. Oh, Sillypears going down to, I think it was a Hot Coals kill there. And it's going to be back to Zone 1, giving Arboretic pretty much a 3-zone lead here, which, needless to say, is pretty strong. And Arboretic, probably, I imagine, going to go for that Dove Charm. Yeah, just gonna start stacking up the familiars again. Only missing 1 from the full set here at this point. Yeah, that monocle really handy too. Gonna want to find any extra health items like that empty heart container. Blood shovel, a really good find as well because he's low on bombs, and low bomb count means a long necrodancer fight. Unless you have a blood shovel. So, gonna keep that fight on track for when he gets there. Assuming that he has the health to dig out the stage, which, considering the potion and 4 heart containers, which will be 5 if he manages to avoid taking damage for a little longer, until regen patches up that cursed heart into a regular one. It's very, very likely, just judging by how things are going right now, that he's going to have more than enough health to dig out the necrodancer stage. And is gonna go for a Blast Helm here in this transmog as well, just for good measure. Now up to 8 bombs, with that instant bomb detonation. Makes Blast Helm a great panic button. even really aggressively blood digging that wall right there. Didn't really need to, but just looking to push through aggressively. Nice use of the cheese iframes there to avoid damage from the spider. Spiders being one of the only enemies in the game that, if not the only enemy in the game, that disappears upon attacking a player. I guess there are cursed wraiths, and if you want to count goblin bombers, and if you really want to stretch it, pixies. But yeah, if you can just iframe through the damage that spiders dish out, then you don't need to worry about killing them at all. So, pretty well played on Arboretic's side there. He's looking to check this potential food shop. Just cap off his health a little further. Losing his potion there, which is unfortunate. Oh, taking good care there to make sure that the pixie doesn't detonate on his rat familiar. Not that it would matter too much. He's already at max health and he has that blast helm, which is going to protect him from the pixie explosions. And that isn't a food shop anyway. It's a, that is unfortunately for him, a pawnbroker, which he has no use for. So having a Torch of Walls here, not the right call. You've already got the full map, and Torch of Foresight is going to highlight traps in which you would otherwise have to walk up to see. But, I mean, you know, just kind of falling into that, you know, into that trap of just, you know, everyone knows that Torch of Walls is a super strong item, and just sees, oh, Torch of Walls, well, that's better than Torch of Foresight, but not really factoring in the rest of his build there, and, you know, considering the fact that with the full map, Torch of Foresight is straight up the better choice. Food shop. Gonna be getting the kill here, and oh, there's plate armor in the back of the food shop for a measly
Arboretic
20 gold.
Set now.
Yeah, Gluttony Charm there, gonna get him up to 9 hearts, plus the empty heart container up to 10. So we got the Heartthrob achievement here. And if you can avoid taking damage for a little while, he'll be at absolutely full health from that regen. Oh, and Nazar Charm doesn't even need to worry about his heart containers becoming cursed now. There we go, full 10 hearts with 1.5 points of defense. Just gonna ride this, ride the wire here all the way to the exit, and gonna be on the Dead Ringer very shortly. Getting a little swarmed here at the exit. Gonna pop shield a little bit late, but Crown of Thorns is gonna patch up the hit that he took there. I'm gonna see some lures here once again. Yep. Notice he's got a huge lead on Sillypears, who is currently in Zone 3, 3-3 to be specific, with pretty low health and nothing to his name other than a Titanium Warhammer. And, well, now a monocle. It's, easy Dead Ringer fight with those lure strats. Arboretic demonstrating them fabulously. And is on to Necrodancer, which yeah, he's got that Blood Shovel, he's got Blast Helm, he's got so many resources to his name. Pretty nasty red dragon spawn, but it's going to clean it up just fine. Got quite the zoo here chasing down the Necrodancer, halfway through the fight, down to 2 HP. One more hit, getting confused. So having a little trouble landing this last hit, but there it is. Necrodancer goes down, and that's going to be 3-0 Arboretic's favor.